Hi, it's Ambritt from Louisville Public Library. Today we're going to do some crafting. There'll be a grab bag the first Monday of the month, every month. That'll correspond with that Saturday's video. If you could please leave us a comment in this video, we'd really appreciate it. It truly does help us. Just let us know how many people are watching at home and if you enjoyed the video. Alright, let's do some crafting. Hi, so this week we're going to be making this jar here. I've just decorated it with some twine and just a little bit of some white yarn. It's super simple. And then next week, I'm going to show you a little DIY, something super easy to put inside of the jar. So this is acting as like a base. But of course, if you don't want to do that, you can always put whatever you like in it, like fresh flowers or just anything, pencils, pens. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go over what we'll need today to make our twine jar. So we'll need a jar. You can do any size. You can do like a small one, a really large one. It's up to you. So just need a jar and some scissors, preferably hot glue. You could use some like industrial strength type glue, but hot glue is going to be probably your best bet. It's going to be really quick. Just got my extra glue. This is optional, just some yarn. I just got white just to make a bow on the jar. That's optional. And then the main feature is the twine. So for the twine, or for the jar I should say, you can do the jar different ways. If you don't like the look of twine, or let's say you do have the look of twine but you don't have twine but you have rope, you can also use rope. Seeing that, it looks really nice too. And you could also do the jar instead of twine, yarn. You could do any color, or if you did white, like if you did this whole jar with the white yarn, you could then paint with acrylic paint some of the yarn. You could do like half, with like some aqua blue paint, and then the rest would be the white yarn, or you could paint the whole entire thing. There's so many different options. So just keep that in mind if you do not like the look of the twine. There's different things you can do. So first thing you want to do is get your twine. I have undone a bunch here, and I'm keeping it on this roll here that I have. However you get your twine, if you have twine, I'd recommend just unfurling some and then not cutting it off yet, because I want one continuous piece on my jar that's just going to look the nicest. So when you start gluing, go ahead and take your twine where it starts. Then I'm just going to put it on the back of the jar, so whatever side you want to be the front, which is the back, I'm going to take that and then start gluing and then going around. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue onto this end here. Just let that dry for a second. We're just literally winding this around until we get to the bottom. Then I'll show you, of course, how we finish it off just to make it look nice. Alright, so I have that glued. I'm just going to wind around. So I'm going to meet that, and then I'm just going to keep going. So there's going to be like a teeny gap where you meet. If you wanted, you could cut it and then glue it, and then just keep, you have to keep repeating that process of cutting, then re-gluing, so it'd be, strip after strip. So that's going to take a little bit longer, so it's up to you. But because I just want one continuous piece, I'm going to kind of tuck that under where I glued that and just keep going. And then as I kind of get to the back here and there, I'm going to add glue. Because you want it to stay, so if you're doing this, you still want to add glue as you go. Just here and there. It doesn't have to be, every inch. Just maybe, as you're winding it, at least put one drop of glue in that kind of circle. And then just kind of keep going around. You could do a dot of glue in the front and then in the back. Again, you don't need to do glue every single inch of the rope, or the twine, I should say. It's not necessary. So as you can see, I'm just winding that around, and again, I'm just adding a little bit of glue, front and the back, kind of as I go here and there. Glue. Just continuing to wind it around. Alright, so we're going to take a break. I'm going to wind this around most of the jar, and we will be back. Okay, so as you can see, I've almost finished covering. I'm coming to the point where I might have to trim and then add some to the bottom. So I won't be able to do one continuous piece for the whole entire thing. It's just going to depend on how even it is. So keep that in mind too. So I'm adding more glue as I'm getting to this bottom part. The closer I got to the bottom, I added more glue. Like I only have a little bit of rope that I'm wrapping, just a teeny bit, and then I'm adding more glue. Because I really want this to stay on there. So we're just wrapping. Every like half an inch or so, I'm adding more glue. See, I've almost got this bottom part here wrapped around. So once I get to that point where I feel like, okay, I can't wrap it around anymore, one continuous piece, I will trim it. It's going to be pretty quick. You want to get it as close to the actual bottom part as you can, because that's just it's going to look the nicest. So again, just about, sometimes even less than half inch, I will add more glue. Just adding quite a bit of glue closer you get to the end. So I'm going to trim this. See there. Try to trim it like an angle. You know what? I'm actually not going to add any more. I thought I was able to actually keep it one piece. It didn't really look like it because it was so crooked, but I was able to just have the one piece. So if there's frays, you can go ahead and trim these with like some really skinny scissors with nail scissors, or you can even just kind of just leave it. So that's what I would probably do. I don't mind the look of the frays, but if it really bugs you, you can trim that off. So we don't need any more twine. So once you figure out, okay, which side looks better, that's going to be the front. This is my front, which was originally what I wanted to be the back, but I do think it looks like, well, maybe I'll do this again. If you have any gaps and it bugs you, you can always go back through and add more twine. You can even do like 2 layers around the entire jar so there's no gaps. I don't mind some gaps. And if you're filling the jar anyway, you might not be able to see them. So now I'm just going to take some of my white yarn here. I'm going to make a bow on the top, close to the top. So, tying that. And just making a bow. And I'm going to trim this down a bit. And I'm going to make a knot. So that one down. it's just that kind of final touch for it. You don't have to do that. But I do like the look of that. The bow on there. Alright, so that is it. And then again, tune in next week. We're going to do a little DIY for something really simple to put inside of the jar. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching our video today. I really hope you enjoyed it. And please leave us a comment below. Okay, stay safe out there and mask up.